Hey everybody, it's Andy. Always wanted my own morning talk show, so I thought I'd have one for you. Happy to have you to, I guess, our inaugural episode of Careers and Coffee. So I'm trying something new. This is me in the morning, rolling out of bed fresh as a daisy. Hope you guys are too, wherever you are, joining me. I'm sure some of you are in the car. I'm sure some of you are in the shower. I'm sure some of you are getting ready to go to bed. But it is 7 a.m. Central Time in the morning, Central U.S. It's Tuesday. And I wanted to try this new little show. I thought, what's better than going live once a week with my troops, going live twice. And we just dropped a new video this morning called How to Answer Interview Questions When You Lack the Experience. I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to, shortly after the video gets released, just have a little talk time with the community, see how they felt about the video, give them a little bit more on the lesson itself. So that's what this is about. Very much like my live office hours Thursdays, we're going to try to do this in the morning on Tuesday. Might have to vary the time a little bit depending on the length of the video. This one was pretty short this morning. It was only 3 minutes and 11 seconds, but very, very potent. If you have not seen that, I hope you watch it soon and talk a little bit more about that. I'm not going to repeat the video to you, but I want to give you a little bit of a different way to think about it. Now, if you're here with me live, for all of you that I don't know, some of you are around the block from me and it's pretty early, but if you're here with me, get in the chat, tell me who you are, where you're from, what you need. You can ask me anything this morning, but if you got stuff related to this concept, I would always prefer that if you have it. But let's talk about what this is. We talked during one of my other shows about how do I answer an interview question when I'm either not sure of what the answer is, or I don't really have the experience, haven't done those processes, haven't done that, used those tools, haven't used that function, or I'm new, I'm a college student, or I'm new, I'm a career changer. You think about how many really different variations of you there are that fall into this situation where you're in a job interview and you just don't know how to answer it because you haven't done it before. And there's basically three, right? You got people that are just starting out, so recent college graduates, young professionals, people in this category. You got people who are changing careers. So they've got experience, they just don't have this experience, and they're really trying to fight against people who do have that experience. And then you've got other people who are experienced pros. You just are in an interview, you get asked a question, and you're just not quite sure how to answer it. So for the latter group, I gave you the answer this morning. You're totally covered. If you're in the interview and you're a professional, you are likely qualified for the job. The employer says so because on paper they've looked at your resume and they say, this person's qualified, let's get them in here to interview them. They gave you a question, you just weren't quite sure how to answer it. I've given you the script for that. So for you all, it's not too tough. It's not too tough. But I want to talk about mindset for some of the folks that fall into the other categories that are the career changers or the college students. I want to open your mindset and even you experienced folks about what really the issue is that you ought to be addressing. I say this to a lot of people that I coach. You're fighting the wrong fight. And think about this. If you're a college student, you don't have any work experience other than maybe your internships, that's totally okay. We all got out of college one day. We all had to have our first job, and we all had to find that employer that was willing to take a chance on us. And if you're career changers and you're changing careers and you don't have that experience, that's okay too. The problem comes when you're trying to convince an employer who really doesn't want to be convinced that they don't need a college student or they don't want to take a chance on a career changer. So I always say you are better off trying to find someone who is already open to the idea rather than trying to convince somebody who is not convinced and doesn't want to hire somebody who doesn't have experience or the exact experience that they're looking for. There are a lot of employers that are out there that are happy to pay less for potential instead of paying more for experience. Your job, the fight you ought to be fighting, your focus and your energy ought to be allocated in searching for them. What's the analogy I've used? If I know a lot of you guys are here, you're with me week in and week out. You've probably heard me use this analogy, but let me go to my world. We'll talk about how it applies to your world. When I think about, I love doing this. I love getting with my community. I recognize that this is what I ultimately love to do, which is to serve. But in order for me to be able to serve my message, I need to run a business. I have programs that some of you are in, some of you are not. You're just not buyers of those programs. You don't believe in paying for that kind of training. Maybe you can't afford it. Whatever the reason, that's totally okay. So I, as a business owner who interview with you every day to be your career coach, if my goal was to try to convince non-buyers to buy my programs, that's not going to be a prudent use of my time. I would rather focus on those individuals who are open to it and are thinking about which ones they want. So, same thing goes for you. You're wasting a lot of time trying to convince employers that they ought to hire you when you don't have the experience. Your time would be better served looking for those who are open to it. So I always say you don't want to fight the should, you want to fight the which. So don't try to convince somebody that they should do something or that they should hire you. Figure out those employers who are open to taking chances on career changers or younger professionals or recent college graduates. Find out which ones are open to that, and then their question is which. It's not should I hire a college student? Am I open to hiring a career changer? It's which one do I want to hire? That's the game you need to be in. And your time's just going to be better served doing that. How do you do that? You do that through your networking, right? You've got to try to get those introductions. College students, a lot of those postings will be advertised that say college students welcome, recent college graduates welcome. Look for those postings, look for those organizations who welcome inquiries from you. So that's the big message behind today. Behind today's video, I gave you the script for all of you, regardless of which category you fall into. I gave you the script for how to answer it in the interview. But when you're in the interview, that assumes that they're going to be open to you already, or that you're qualified if you're a professional with experience. So think about that. Think about that as you watch that video. I would play it a few times. The other thing about that video is the script is also written in Interview Intervention. It's sitting over my shoulder. It's in the book in the Silver Bullet chapter, which is, I believe, chapter number 6. It's question number 10, how do you educate yourself? So I hope that helps you. I want to take some questions. These Tuesday morning segments are probably going to be about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So I just want to do a quick rundown. Today's video was short, so I've got some time for questions. I want to see how you guys are doing. Just give us a little bit more time together. So, and I got my coffee. To believe me, this is fully leaded French roast this morning. Sometimes on Thursdays when it's a little later in the morning, that's herbal tea. But today it is fully loaded. And I want to, can we give a big Careers and Coffee shout out to, I think it's Tuwei. I think that's how you pronounce your name. Hey, Andrew, I got hired on the spot. That's all because of your methods and strategies to attack an interview. I hit them with the 10 reasons. I wish I could shake your hand and thank you, but we can do the virtual high five here. Tuwei, I'm so happy. I don't know where you live, but if you live in the U.S., that's up pretty early. But congratulations to you, my friend. And Evelyn O, I think I mentioned this. I don't know if you guys saw this in the video, but that was a question. That video is a short clip out of, I don't know, one of our live office hours sessions a few weeks back, where Evelyn asked that question about how do I answer this when I'm not quite sure. So that was for you, Evelyn, and I know you're from New York. It's got to be 8:09 where you are right now. I hope I got the time zones right, and a beloved boot camper to boot, no pun intended. All right, let me see. John Bailey, hey. Kara, hey, thanks for getting up with me. Steve, Sue, it's early by you. What is it? Are you on daylight time, or is it 6:09, or is it 5:09? 0, I get my... Hey, Tammy, how you doing? Alina, how are you? What time is it by you? time. Tell me what time it is too. I love to know stuff like this. Where are you from? What's the weather like? All right, let's see. Nick Fromlack, how you do? First cup. First cup. The hiring prophecies are calling. Haha. Dan C, how are you? Good morning. Is that Dan C, my boot camper, my new boot camper? Joe Winter, hey. Diana, my boot camper, how you doing? Juicy Freak. Good morning, baby, to you. I don't know who you are, and that's a new one on me. Oink Monster. Joyce, how you doing? Joe, I guess I didn't know you were from Kentucky. You're from Australia. So it's like 10-10 where you are. Is that right? They hit some tough curveball behavior, toughy curveball behavior questions. Your advice helped. I also forgot to tack on during my storytelling. Haha. Oh man, you really. But it's like bedtime by you. Oh man. Juicy Freak, I want to know how you tailor. Oh yeah, wait, I forget to tell you guys. I know it's early. Put some question marks in front of your questions. It's early. Even I forget to tell you this. My dog. Can you guys see my dogs? There. The fam is with me. We're a little more casual here in the morning because this is a whole new routine for them. We don't like to disturb the sleep time because they follow me into my office at some ungodly early hour. They want to lay in here. All right. Okay, Juicy Freak. When you want to talk about cover letters for career changers, first thing I'd recommend, make sure you check out my Career Changer playlist. For all of you, anything that you're looking for in deeper format, there's always a playlist. There's a cover letter playlist. There's a job interview playlist. There's a job search playlist. There's a salary negotiation playlist, and so on and so forth. For the career changers, keep in mind that I'm not sure how familiar you are with my cover letter style, my preferred style. Every cover letter that I distribute, whether it's inside my programs or outside in accessible to the public, has a backbone and a framework to it. And then it's tailored depending on the situation, whether you know there's an opening, whether you don't know there's an opening, who it is you're sending the cover letter, and so on. So first thing is check all that out and you'll get the style. Second thing is, if you're a career changer, the thing that you need to highlight for the person who's reviewing it is your capabilities. So when you, for example, and I don't know what your profession is, but if you are trying to become a salesperson and you are a marketing person, or you are a project manager, or you are an engineer or something else, and you don't have the direct sales experience, what you need to do is you need to extract what I call the capabilities, which are the underlying foundational abilities that would make wherever you're going, that salesperson a great salesperson. So in addition to understanding how to sell the product or service that they are selling, they also need good organizational skills, good psychological skills, good human interaction and customer service skills, good communication skills, whether it's articulating or whether it's listening, and so on. And then that list goes on. In your cover letters, you need to highlight how you've gained the capabilities that align to where you want to go, because you don't have the specific experience. So when you're citing the things that you've accomplished, you really need to justify how you've grown those capabilities through what other things that you've done. If you're a project manager, you've obviously gained customer service and interaction skills. You've gained organizational skills, planning skills, and so on. So that's what you need to do. Figure out what the capabilities are of where you want to go. Highlight those not only in your cover letter, Juicy Freak, but also your resume. So I hope that helps. I go into a lot more of that in the Career Changer playlist. There's a bunch of, it's got to be 6, 8, 10 videos in there that you can check out. Andy Norris, how are you? Yes, I know you are a boot camper. Great to see and hear from you. Sam, how are you? Listening on the way to the second day of the new job. Always wonderful to join this group. I was hoping I could catch some people in their car. What I do when my coaches are on, is I do that. I get my phone, I turn on YouTube or whatever they are, and then I just plug it in and I listen to it in the media right out of the car speakers. So I love it. Oink Monster. Could you tie the lack of experience and Career Accelerator together for people who have a career stretch job? Oh my. So when you say Career Accelerator, I'm assuming, I don't know that you're talking, I don't think you're talking about my Career Accelerator program. I think you're just talking about how when I have a lack of experience to career acceleration, if I'm either in a career stretch job or I want to grow into the next job, I would lump this all together. This is what I will tell you. Anytime, so in addition to job search coaching that I do through my programs and through the one-on-one stuff that I do, we also coach individuals to elevate their performance and also elevate their careers. One of the biggest things that we talk about that directly is going to answer your question is, and I do this for myself, I think high achievers and high performers in general do this, and they recognize this. If you want to grow, I don't care what you do. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are the college student, if you are the career changer, if you are the experienced pro that's just looking to elevate. The single best tip that I can give you to grow is you need to not only proactively identify what those skills are that you need to build, and I think a lot of us can comprehend that. I think that's the easy part is, okay, what do I need to build to grow? We can ask our friends, we can ask our colleagues, other entrepreneurs, we can ask our bosses, our management team, and whoever can help us understand what the gap is from where we are to where we want to go. Or even if we're in the role, if there are certain, like as you're saying, a career stretch role, even if there are some aspects of the role where we don't have as much experience. When you see those gaps and you identify what those gaps are, so that's step one. But step two is you got to allocate time on your calendar to actually build those skills. So I've told this story many times before. When I became a trainer, for example, I, as a recruiter, and my main business for a long time was as an executive recruiter. So I would help organizations recruit talented individuals. And I understood about employment, I understood about job searching, I understood about interviewing and all that other good stuff. So I learned about employment, and as I wanted to become a trainer in this capacity to help you, I was very familiar with my subject matter. But what's the stretch role for me? Being able to communicate it with you in this format. Well, guess what I didn't know how to do? I didn't know how to talk through a camera to you to convey my message. So there's not only what is it that I have to teach you, but how is it that I have to package it, and how is it that I need to make sure that you're going to, and so on and so forth. But I also had to do this through the camera and so on. There's a number of other facets that I had to learn. So I had to allocate time on my calendar that says, practice talking to the camera. But a lot of people don't do that, because a lot of the people that I coach, when they say, well, I want to get to this level and I want you to help me get there, how do I do it? I say, show me your calendar. I said, well, if you want to start speaking at events, where is practice speaking on your calendar? It's not anywhere. So how are you going to grow? So you want to stretch job, you want to stretch career, identify the gaps, identify the time to do it. So you've got to have time allocated. And do not tell me ever, I don't have time. You got to create the space. Okay, I had to sacrifice stuff on the weekends. I had to sacrifice stuff at nights. Anybody who's achieved anything worthy has given up a lot of stuff. You can do it. But that's how I would approach that. You got lack of experience, you got to figure out how to get it. The junior advertising exec who wants to make the pitches to the senior, to the senior leaders at the potential clients or whatever. You got to practice pitching that stuff even though you're not actually pitching it. It's that kind of stuff that you got to do, but the simulations help. The more you can be, shooting at real targets, the better, or I should say maybe them shooting at you. All right, hope that helps. Juicy Freak, I also did a video on the overqualified thing. Check it out. I gave you all the answers. Oh no, stop that. You do not need to do that. Adam Stark, you're a little late this morning. I gotta tell you, normally you're up there early with me. All right, I freelanced for 2 years going back to normal employment. I don't know that normal and employment belong in the same sentence, but I do know what you mean. Okay, my earnings were low, but I'm worried interviewers will try and pay me less as a result. I want to earn my worth. I totally get it. So first thing is, I would not get into the, this is what I earned and all that stuff. Try to avoid that. And Adam, you've seen just about every video I've ever put out, I'm guessing, or nearabouts. Focus on the salary negotiation playlist. All of those answers are in there. You've got to, there's ways to handling it properly throughout the process so that you're not giving them information, you're not giving them an expected salary range, you're not doing any of that stuff. My best advice is you focus on proving your value and what you can do for them. They will in turn take that into account, as well as, so here's how employers think, right? I got an idea in my mind before I hire somebody. Maybe it's a number, maybe it's a range, but I've got an idea of what I would like to spend in pay to that person on the position. And then what happens is they start looking at candidates. When they start looking at candidates, their view of that comp goes up or down based on what they're seeing, based on the intel that they're gathering. But most employers, now I just got done saying that there's a lot of employers that are out there that are happy to pay less for potential than more for experience. So, but there's also, on the flip side of that, companies that are happy to pay more if they're going to get more. So I think that that's really important for you to recognize. So if you want to earn your worth, it is, do not think for a second, any of you that get into a negotiation process, that you are going to negotiate your worth at that moment. That is not what the negotiation process is about. You have negotiated your worth throughout the entire process. Every single thing that you did, every single thing that you said, and every single thing that you did not do and did not say makes your number, your comp go up and down. Then at the end, it's a formality of going through the little tug of war. But believe me, you already did all the training along the way. You already ran the race. Now you just got to step over the finish line. And so focus on the interviewing process and selling yourself. And then you could watch all the negotiation stuff I have out there. But that's my recommendation on that. Jim Keen, how are you? I've had questions that use company-specific technology I'm unfamiliar with, and I'm unsure if I know what they're asking. How do you approach this without sounding ignorant? Okay, Jim Keen, great question. Totally on point for the video this morning. So first thing is, if they are asking questions about specific company-specific terminology, if it's company-specific terminology, Jim, all you need to do is just say, can you clarify that using some general terms, right? If the company calls something internally and you are not familiar with that, just ask them to define it in additional terms. Now, it could be company-specific jargon that's known only internally, and I can't stand when companies do that, as if you should know. But there's also business functions you might have never heard of that are well known outside. You just don't have the familiarity. Just ask them to clarify. It is not a big deal. Just ask them to clarify. That's my view. I know a lot about a lot, and I'm not afraid to say, can you just clarify what do you mean by that? What specifically do you mean? I would not be too worried. And my guess is you will not. It's okay to ask one or two times. I mean, if you're repeatedly asking and they are using terminology that you should know, you are not qualified for that job. And it's an error on their part to even be talking with you at that moment. So I would not be too worried about it. It's okay to do this a time or two throughout any interview for anybody at any level. So I hope that helps. But I also, Jim, I don't know if you've seen the video yet from this morning about how to answer interview questions when you lack the experience. That will help too, and that will give you some more ideas. All right. Okay, let's see what we got. Hang on, just. Kara, can you do some chat maintenance for me, please? Okay. Pinaki? Good morning to you. So I think I'm finally awake now. I've been awake for 3 hours. What's your suggestion for senior level execs for job search? Pinaki, I got a whole host of it, senior level executive stuff out there. I've got, especially as it relates to job searching. So couple of things. I'm going to give you some broad strokes, but I do want you to do this for me. If you head to my YouTube channel and you just type senior level or executive level in the search bar on my channel. So YouTube's got a search bar at the kind of at the top of your page, or the top of, if you're on the phone, it's at the top or whatever. But my page, my channel has a search, has a little search icon, and you can go in there and then you're searching only my channel. Type executive level and senior level, and a host of videos are going to come up. Okay, there's going to be videos on interviewing tips, job searching, and so forth. So the biggest, and I don't know that I want to go in all of those because that's a pretty broad question, but if you are senior, I've gone through this many times in a number of videos, how I've broken down how I would allocate my time during the job search. You should be spending about half of your time networking, and networking is identifying companies that you want to work for, trying to route yourself through your network, figuring out who you would call, how you would target them. If you don't know somebody, sending them a cold email. All that stuff's targeting. Half your time should be spent doing that. I would check out my job search masterclass. The first video in the 3-video series is all on allocation of your time. And whether you're a senior person, a mid-level person, a junior person, whether you're changing careers, all that stuff is in there, and how I would spread my time across the job search activities. Then for you, I would also hit my channel for the senior level stuff. And I think the other thing that you probably want to do is you definitely want to watch the Working with the Recruiters videos. I have one on working with corporate recruiters and one that I have working with executive recruiters. There is a host of stuff out there for very senior people, but I would check it out. I mean, it's a generic question, but I got a lot of videos out there that'll focus you in on all the different aspects of a senior level search. Enola, hey? It's, oh my God. So you must be like on the other side, Australia. Evelyn, you're welcome. You inspired that video. Evelyn, I don't know I don't know how many of you are on my email list. And if you're not, I would hope that you get on my email list. Kara, maybe can you put the link in there so they can register? But in the email this morning, I don't know if you read the email closely, but I even called out Evelyn O, and that's Evelyn O. So maybe we can all give her, like in the email I said it was inspired by Evelyn O, and maybe we can give her a thanks for being our little muse on this video this morning. Mosin, is that how you pronounce your name? Hey to you. Mick, how are you? 5:09 a.m. So you must be mountain time. And Mosin from Germany, and then Sue, it's 5. So you are on a daylight, or maybe it kicks over. Bell's Fit, it's a little later by you. John Bailey, what are the 10 reasons from? There's 10 reasons why I want to work here. So check out the John Bailey. Check out the my video on when they ask you the question about why you want to work here. All right. 810 here, supposed to be 93 bucks. You know, it's beautiful. So a lot of times you guys see at 11 sun's up overhead. My office has windows all the way around it. That's my sunroom back there. So the sun comes out on that side of my building. The thing about Tuesday morning is I could never shoot videos because that's when the homeowners association that I live in, that's when they do my lawn. And so we would always have guys on these like tractors, mowers, whatever, going through doing the lawn. And I was trying to shoot videos one time, and then they were all over the place. So I just stopped that. So I was a little concerned about this time, but it's not too bad. And my dogs left us. I don't know if anybody saw them leave, but at least they're not barking, because lots of times they're barking at the guys. Adam Stark 1310 is you send it in the UK. Jenny Hinkle, how are you? Carrie Freeman. Carrie, I thought you were going to get in the boot camp. Come on, man, we need you. Kenneth, how you doing from the Philippines? 8 p.m. So I guess maybe for some of you guys, this isn't too bad. I know the Thursday at 11 Central, that can be rough for some people. California, Salome, how are you? Oh, look, Anna Goldman. How you doing, my friend? London, it's got to be reasonable time in London. Mick, I'm new to the channel. Any recommendations to get caught up? So, Mick, here's what I would say. So, if I'm new to me, the first thing that I would do is I would get the catalog. So I don't know if you guys know this. Oh, God, I don't know that I have it really quick. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this, but on the Mile Walk Academy website, there's a couple things that I would do. If I was a job seeker, whether I was fully employed or whether I was a full-time job seeker, I would go to the Mile Walk Academy, milewalkacademy.com. Kara, maybe we pop that in the chat. And in the milewalkacademy.com, up at the top, there are some key menu items. One of them is the live calendar. I would sync my calendar to that. That has when I'm going to be live, where I'm going to be. So you're gonna see the Thursday live office hours, although I have to tell you that I'm on Wednesday this week, so I'm actually on tomorrow, not Thursday. I have the boot camp, job search boot camp times. I have my leadership monthly times. I have all the free events. I have all the paid events and all that good stuff. You can sync that with your calendar. That's not a subscription. You just kind of sync it with your Google Calendar, your iCal, your Outlook, or whatever. That doesn't mean you're subscribed to my channel. It just means you're syncing the calendars, and it'll drop in your calendar all the times I'm live and where I am. That's one thing. Second thing I would do, and Mick and anybody else, we have a catalog. It's about a 20-page catalog that lists everything that we have available to you with a little write-up on everything. I would go through that and figure out where you need the most help. Now, if you are just starting a job search cold, totally cold, the first thing that I would do is I would go to my job search masterclass and I would watch that 3-part video series. That will dial you in correctly. I would also start with a video called How to Choose the Right Job for You. Get started there. But all the other assets are on the front page of the Mile Walk Academy, and they're also on my blog. And then what'll happen is, as you come to these shows on Thursdays, generally Thursdays, but Wednesday tomorrow, you'll start to get more familiar. You'll start to uncover some of the different steps. The other thing is, on the public site, all my videos are released and they're packaged as best I can according to playlist and such. Inside the programs that I offer, the programs are end-to-end, soup to nuts, do this first, do this second, do this third, but those are also premium and paid programs. Keep that in mind. The other thing is, Mick and everybody else, this book, just to put this in perspective, if you wanted interview intervention and you went to Apple, to iBooks, to the Nook at Barnes & Noble, to the Kindle from Amazon or whatever, it's $8.95, okay? That's the ebook. This book is about $30, the hardbound. I will ship this book to you anywhere in the world. You can have the ebook for free, the audiobook for free, another ebook about how to interview the employer, and you can have access to our LinkedIn, private LinkedIn group, private Facebook group. That's only $7 for picking, packing, and shipping. But I would grab this one too if you're not if you don't have one, and you get the ebook and the audiobook immediately, and then the hardbound, depending on Mick on where you live. If you're in the U.S., you get it pretty quick. If you're outside the U.S., it could take anywhere between 5 business days and say 25 business days, but it just depends. But it's $7 anywhere, and I would grab that, and then you'll start getting familiar with the different assets. But start with the Mile Walk Academy. That's where a lot of stuff is. All right, Vincent. Hey, how you doing? Hitting a job fair tomorrow? Yes, I have a video on job fairs. Vincent, check how to use my 5 minutes at a job fair to get an interview. I would check that one out. To weigh any general advice after we receive the job, offering, other than thanking them? Well, first thing I love to do is I like to ask them in advance, is there anything that I can do to get ready for my first day on the job? Can I get my computer early? Can I sign whatever the paperwork is early? Is there anything I could look at? Is there anything you want to send me? Hopefully you've signed your employment agreements and all your non-disclosure agreements and all that good stuff. But honestly, it's a simple ask. First thing, though, celebrate and enjoy your time before you start, because rarely do any of us ever get any kind of time like that where we don't have anything to do. And no matter what kind of job you have, you always seem to have it on your mind. So that's my best advice is get some rest. It really is. M. Wilson, I'm wondering if that's Maya Wilson. How are you? Thanks for the morning shot in the arm. A great coach, and you're welcome. Chad McDonald, is there a laid off playlist? No, but I would be happy to answer any questions that you want. All right. Carrie Freeman, Andy, I reached out to that employer on Wednesday who promised to get back to me by Friday. I remember the story of the week before last, and it's still radio silence. What do I do? Carrie, you move on. So Carrie, I don't know if you were here for my beginning little opener and the few minutes I spent talking about the concept behind this. And I want to, if you guys, those that have followed me for a while, you will notice a level of consistency in all the advice that I give you and everything that has to do with any interaction that requires another party, right? You could write your resume on your own, okay? You could sit at your desk just like this, write the resume. But any interaction that you go through, sending a cover letter, sending your resume to somebody, going in for a job interview, waiting to get feedback from them, negotiating, all that stuff requires an interaction with somebody else. So Carrie, you are in the middle of an interaction with somebody else. My advice to everybody all the time is control what you can control. So when we talked about the episode from this morning, I said to the career changers and the college students, what you really need to be focusing on is not arguing with somebody that you are the right fit or they should hire you. It's going and looking for people who are already open to hiring somebody with a lack of experience. That's controlling what you can control. You're better off spending your time looking. Same thing with you, Carrie. If they are not getting back to you, you are burning a lot of energy if you're thinking about them. And I understand that when you get these on the line, you want to try to drive them to closure, but you are far better off focusing if you cannot, you did it. You went through all the protocols, you contacted them, you emailed them, you called them or whatever. If they are not getting back to you, they're sending poor messages to you. Your time is best spent, honestly, looking for somebody else. So find somebody else who loves you. Control what you can control. That's about your outreach. So at this point, they weren't getting back to you. They said they were going to call you. They didn't call you. Think about this, everybody, Carrie and everybody. Employers, in their recruitment process, for 90% of them, that's the best they will ever treat you. And that ought to say something. Uh-oh, I'm getting a scroll here. Kara, do me a favor. Just let me know. I don't want to refresh my screen, but I'm spinning. The stream health looks good. But that's the best that they are ever going to treat you. So think about that. Think about that. So let me know my cohort is I'm back. Okay. Folks, if I'm not going to refresh my screen, if your screen gets hung, just refresh it, and you should be okay. All right. It was delayed for a few seconds. Okay. All right. So, Anna, this is the I'm getting ready to go run outfit. So you guys are catching me. So because I wanted to be ready for you at 7. And I get up at 5. I only had so much time, and I never would have been able to get out, get back, and do all this stuff and set up in time. All right. They reached out, and I don't get I don't either, Carrie. Like I said, I know it's hard. I'd mentally move on. Alexandra, how are you? Hi, Andy, recent graduate, BA Product Design, London. I was wondering if I can have awards section on my resume first and then experience and school. I would highly recommend that you do not have an awards section. If those awards are for school awards, I would put them in the education section. And what I would also do is I might title it Education and Awards if those were school related, if that's the case. What you could do, Alexandra, if you've seen my collegiate template, for all you college students or recent college graduates, I have a different resume template for you. If you check out the video, this one trick will make your college resume stand out. Although the template you can get in a lot of videos, but go to that one because it talks about how you lay out your career profile. And for the college students, I was overly generous and actually wrote your career profile for you, and you just need to take out the pieces and put your pieces in. Alexandra, for you, what I would do is you could put one of your biggest awards, or the one perhaps that you, now I don't want to say most proud of, the one that you think the employers will find most attractive in your readiness as an employee candidate for them, and put that up in the career profile, maybe as the last thing. And won an achievement award for, and make sure you put in what you did. But that's how I would approach that to get that up at the top. I would have, so your profile, you don't call it a career profile, you just call it a profile. Then you put your schooling, then you put your professional experience, and then you put career profile, then you could put education and awards in that section. So yes, I guess effectively it's the top. And then you could put your professional experience. That's okay. I don't know how many awards you have, but if it is a lot of them, then I would actually split the sections and have education, and I would put awards at the bottom. Small blip, but okay now. Okay. Hey guys, I'm not, my screen is locked, so I can't see me but I know that the timer's running. If your screen is locked, just refresh it. I don't know why that's the case. It looks like the stream health is okay, but I don't want to lose the chat, so I'm just going to keep going. All right. Evelyn O, if interviewer asks why you are changing careers, how should you address this? Evelyn O and everybody else, much like I always say, so backbone to my advice always, be honest, number one. Number two, right, control what you can control. And number three, in these situations, when you get into the kind of the hand-to-hand combat with the interviewer, you always want to talk about what you are, not what you're not. You always want to talk about where you're going, not why you're leaving someplace. So, why are you changing careers? I did some self-discovery. I wanted more. I thought about what I wanted to do. I evaluated. I did some research. I decided this is an area I want to go. It's I want. I want to move toward that. It's about your needs. No one will ever argue with you about what you should like, or at least they should not ever. I will never tell you what to like. I'll never tell you what flavored ice cream to like, or what kind of coffee to like, or whatever. You like what you like, right? So you're articulating why you've chosen that. Now, if somebody's interviewing you, they're open to it, right? They're open to you joining them in whatever capacity. So, I mean, you gotta make some assumptions like that. Very positively, though. But I would approach it very positively. All right, Amanda, how do I handle a top grading interview process? Amanda from Dubai. Amanda, top grading is one of the absolute worst interviewing techniques known to man and woman. Here's my best advice for top grading. Just be calm. Just don't get flustered. Just don't worry about the repetition of those questions and so on. Top grading is about your composure. So keep it. The questions that they ask you are going to be in alignment with all the other questions that you generally hear, interview interventional help and all that good stuff. But that's where I would start with that. I would not. And for those of you who don't know what top grading is, don't worry about it. All right. Ahmed, some tips for a big gap on the CV. For instance, 5 years, but during this years I was studying. Wonderful. All you need to do, Ahmed, is check the video out on how to handle employment gaps. That's it. Just go check it out, and I cover it there. Tammy H. How do I handle no recent experience and I don't have a degree? Tammy, Same thing. Check out the video on how to handle employment gaps. Michelle Di Clemente, how are you? Italy, love it. Evelyn, don't talk about disliking your old career. Talk about wanting more. Leander, great to have ya from the Netherlands. Oink Monster, you're welcome. Mick, you know what's really funny? I know, you know what? If I was at work, like in some, I don't know what, like I don't know where all your times are. Just put me in the earbuds. Right? You got them. Just put, just watch the phone. It's so funny. So, Pinaki, it's a pretty general question. How to handle 15 years experience? Seems no one is interested in hiring experienced candidates nowadays due to budgets. That is not true. Again, let me go back to the theme of this morning's message about controlling what you can control and making sure that you are spending your time finding people who are organizations that are interested in hiring somebody with experience. Believe me, they are there. True story, in the last 3 work days, we made a placement of a woman, 20 years of work experience. We had an interview with a guy, 30 plus years of work experience. Today we have a candidate going in, different guy, 30 plus years of work experience. This is not that whole that no one is hiring or people, don't seem to be interested is not true. Is not true. You got to keep looking. You got to keep going. Your time is better spent looking than it is trying to fight with people who are not open to it. And the other thing is, if you are stuffing there's so many things about your search I don't know. Pinaki, if you're stuffing your resume into applicant tracking systems and spending a lot of time doing that, you're not going to get a lot of responses. That doesn't mean people are not hiring. It means that your resume's not getting through, or they're looking at people through different routes. Oh, there goes the mower, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Shout. Give me a tap if you can hear it. Wait, if you are liking this, give me the thumbs up on the little like button. Make sure you're subscribed so you know when I'm live. This Tuesday morning thing, this time will likely vary a little, depending on my schedule and depending on the length of the video. This video this morning happened to be 3 minutes. Some will be 30 minutes. Some will be 15 minutes. So I want to give you some time to watch it. All right. Alina, love it. 4:30, wake up, no coffee. I knew you were in SoCal because we talked about me missing you in my Orange County thing. Hey, Melanie, my boot camper. All right, let me see. I keep going, man. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. Wait, we got all those hang on. Here we go. Mick, if you were told you were being considered for a supervisor position at work, but are still in the same position despite asking for updates after a week passed, should I stay or go? No, Mick, you should stay. Kara says she can't hear the mowers. Okay, you should stay. It's only a week, so wait. There's a couple things. I have caveats to the things I can tell you. So I say always control what you can control. What can you control? Positive attitude, asking for insight, being a little patient. You're still in the same position after a week passed. I have no idea. Was somebody out? Did somebody not get to somebody who they needed to talk to about an approval for the supervisory position or whatever? That's a short amount of time. But Mick, tell you what, I'm here tomorrow, but that's only tomorrow. I'm back next week on Thursday. Thursday, whatever that Thursday is. I'm guessing it's the 8th. And you can pop in and check in with me and let me know what happened. I'd love to hear that. All right. Nikita, I'm not sure if there's a question. I was looking at my job field. It's desperate. I'm not sure if there's a question. So I was looking for a job in my field for 2 years. As a result, I lost my technical skills. Once I made it to an interview, I was desperate to get this job, and then the boss asked me how much do I want. So, Nikita, I don't believe that you lose your technical skills in 2 years. I understand that working with something and doing something and not doing it for a period of time, a lot of what we do is perishable skills, so to speak, practice and so on. But I I would ask for as much money as you think you are worth if somebody asked me how much I wanted. All right, to clarify, they told me they need to find a replacement for my current position first. Okay, so Mick, that's not a bad thing. Warren Coyle, how you doing, my boot camper? Good morning. Jim Keen, check the video out. It's only 3 minutes. Warren, you missed the puppies. They kind of come and go. They kind of come and go. You guys know this about this YouTube, and the way I set the thing up is I have what YouTube allows me to, or not, set this as a DVR. So that means whenever you join, you can scroll it all the way back to the beginning, up to 12 hours, which I will never be live for 12 hours. Ever, never. I can say that comfortably. And you can scroll it back. So if you miss anything and you want to see it, just check it out. Isis, how are you? Hey, Kat, how you doing? Good morning to you, my boot camper. Van, how are you? This is what I need. You know, I just love this stuff. I'm not sure what Van's asking. Debbie Cluck. Blue Ridge Mountains. Is that like a John Denver song? Country Roads? Actually, true story. You want to know the trivia question to the first song Andy could play on the guitar? John Denver's Country Roads. Or yeah, that's when I learned how to play the guitar. See, all kinds of crazy stuff you learn about me when we do this stuff at Tuesday in the morning. 1:30 in the UK. Okay, that's good. Tammy H., how can I find corporations or industries where I can learn and teach their proprietary accounting software, reporting software, soft skills to their global customers? Tammy, so there's a number of things so if you want to teach proprietary accounting software and so on, you do a couple things. My first reaction to that is, are you looking for the organizations who sell accounting software? That's what I would look for. I mean, that's Mr. Google and talking to people in the accounting space and who run the accounting departments and what software they're using. And I would think that that's a pretty easy list to find if I understood your question correctly. Shaft, I'm guessing that there are a lot of people in this chat that would be happy to share their experiences with you. And one thing that I do with trying to get you guys some testimonials, just a social proof, so to speak, is I don't just type the testimonials for you. I just show you the screenshots. So hopefully somebody will chime in. So this is a good one for Kat. Kat's new to the boot camp, so it's the most efficient way to get all the info and get yourself organized. Van, it's a good thing, and Shaft, it's a good thing. Also, I have a 30-day money-back guarantee on 99% of my stuff. There's a few things that are a little weird, like a subscription program or stuff like that, but my programs are backed. Christy B, boot camper and absolutely loving it. So Christy is in the boot camp and the Leadership Monthly Live program. That's really a great combo. Gabriel, John, any pages you recommend to scan for keywords to pass the HR screen? Job scan. Kara, can we drop the job scan link in there? Oh, man. So this one, Evelyn, you can say, I decided I didn't want a 22-year-old to pick my career for me, not even a 22-year-old version of me. Okay, Kat is quoting me. It's in Interview Intervention. It's in the first chapter. It's on page 11 or 12. There's the quote. So I talked about don't be afraid to change. And some people spend their entire lives in a job that they don't love, collecting a paycheck, waiting for their Social Security to arrive. And I think a lot of us forget that we picked our careers at a very young age. And then I said, I don't want a 22-year-old picking my career for me today, not even a 22-year-old version of me. So, yes, Kat was paying attention in the book. It's in there, folks. Ebook, audiobook, and hardcover book. You can hear me. You can look it on your screen. You can turn the pages, or you can listen to me in your ear, any which way you want, for $7 shipping and handling. Okay, I'm just zipping through. Diana's a boot camper, loving the morning times live. Yeah, some of you folks are, this is probably really good. It may be better than my 11 a.m., Tony, handling grad school interviews. Is it for a program? It is for a program that will pay for it. I need to give reasoning to why they should back me. I study history and the program is in Japan. The reason anybody should back you is never out of the goodness of their heart and always about what that will enable you to do for them. So your focus, Tony, when you're talking to organizations that are interviewing you to pay for grad school, is what you are going to be able to do for them when you are finished. That's the value to them. Focus on that. All right. Lorena, hello Andy, changed my resume, didn't get a job offer, but definitely got responses. Okay, that's good. Well, that's what the resume is supposed to get, interviews, right? It is a big change for me as I was used to no answers at all. Thank you. Do you have any advice on how to handle the wave of rejections without losing confidence? Lorena, if you are, couple things come to mind. If you are getting rejected in the interview process, that I do have a point solution called How to Get the Job After Being Rejected. Check that video out. If you are not getting as many responses to your new resume, I have a different response for that. I have a 14-day challenge. If you just go to my site, search 14-day challenge, focus on that. Here again, going back to the kind of the theme of everything that I give you guys, focus on, what can you focus on? Putting your resume together, putting your covers together, targeting companies, targeting individuals, outreach, and so on. The 14-day challenge reconditions you to focus on the high-value activities that are most likely to lead to job search success, not shoving your resume into an applicant tracking system and those kind of things. So I would highly recommend you check the video out where I talk about staying positive in your job search. I go into the things to focus on and what to do in the metrics, but I would also make sure that I watch, I have a video out there on the 14-day challenge. You'll be able to find it. It's a segment of a live office hours. You don't need to watch the whole thing, but I would focus on that. That will definitely elevate your confidence and your enthusiasm. All right. Kirsty B. recommended the boot camp. Thank you, my dear. Liz Eastlake, how are you? Andy, my spouse and I are having dinner tonight with the college president and her spouse. Excellent. I see you're trucking along. Then I have an interview tomorrow with the new VP, all for the job that doesn't exist, concerned about limited executive expertise. I'm not sure what the question is. I would not be concerned about that. You are not having dinner with the president and her spouse because you don't know what you're doing. I would not be focused on that. I would be focused on what is it they need. Don't worry about executive level anything. What is it that you need? How can I help? And then you need to highlight the areas that are in your background that close the gap to what they need. All you need to be thinking about is, how can I help you? What is it that you need? How do you see my background aligning? Let me help you understand what I can do for you. And I believe we talked about this already, where with you, we talked about there's two ways to go about a situation where a position doesn't exist. What is it that you need? And here's how I can support that. Versus, here's what I can do. How can you fit that in? So you never want to go with the latter. It's always about where is the biggest areas and the gaps where you need help, and I can provide value. The high value area for the employer is your best thing to focus on because that's selling to their gap and it's helping them overcome an issue that they have or accelerating the generation of new whatever it is, ideas, money, products, anything that helps them catapult forward or fixes something that's broken. Focus on that. Don't be concerned, and you're having dinner. It's going to be nice, believe me. And I'm sending you good Big Andy vibes. Tim, Andy, you're awesome. Negotiations for internal employees. Are signing bonuses common for non-management supervisory positions? They are. Or would you focus on salary only? I wouldn't. Really appreciate your insight. Okay, Tim, and everybody else. There is no, I mean this in the nicest possible way, there's just no standard anything, right? We have gotten signing bonuses for people with 2 years of work experience and signing bonuses for people with 20, and then there's no signing bonuses for executives in some cases. It makes no difference. What I like to do in Tim, and I don't know which Tim you are or if you're in any of my programs, but I would check out the salary negotiation playlist. I would look at the areas where I talk about when you go back to the employer, when you are countering. One of the principles with you countering is making sure that you are giving them options. So just as a quick example with the stuff that you made, with the points that you made. Hey, this is great. I'm so grateful for your offer. I've had a chance to look through it, right? Based on my experience, based on the value I'm going to contribute, based on what you need me to do, I think, this number is a little more in line with what I'm looking for and worth. Okay? So you offered me 100. I really want 120. Okay? So I want 120. Now, that's a $20,000 increase from what you offered. Now, I'm open to how you get me to the 120. So if you have options from your end that could make up that $20,000 gap in the first year, I'd be open to them, whether that's a front-end signing bonus, a $10,000 signing bonus and a $10,000 salary increase, or if you can't do a signing bonus, maybe there's a base pay increase and a back-end bonus, or maybe there's an entire $20,000 increase, or whatever. I'm open to different ways for you to accommodate that. And then you want to listen to them. Then you want to discover if there are levers that they can pull. You don't always know what it is they have flexibility with. So I would go that route. I have tons more on this in that salary negotiation playlist. Natalie, hey. Warren Coyle, however, so far I'm very happy with what I've learned, the way my resume has changed, and all the future tips. Warren is a boot camper for those who are asking. Kat, will you address my... Will you address my question I posted in the boot camp? I believe you posted it yesterday afternoon. Normally I'm usually about within 24 hours. Will you address my question I posted in the boot camp about the industry conference coming up next week and how to prepare? I will. I haven't read the question yet, but I know it's because it's in my queue and it's actually up at the top. Kat loves the 14-day challenge. 14-day challenge is the secret sauce. So there you go. I mean, check that out. All right. John, it's never too late to get in the boot camp. The boot camp is open at all times. And if you all are having heartburn on the rate, then you email me at support@milewalk.com and I will do what I can to knock it down a little bit. All right. Sarika, great time slot. I love it. AJ, hi, you've helped me have a good interview recently. No job offer, but my best interview yet. I love it. Lorraine, you're welcome. Jim Keen, while watching, just heard back about a job I was interested in. Instead of upping the position and pay to meet my requirements, they decided to downgrade it even further. Not sure how that will work. Not sure how that will work for them. I'm not sure what all that is. All right, hang on, I'm just buzzing through. Oh my goodness. Am I to the bottom? Hey, we're like an hour and 5 minutes. I wanted to go 30 minutes today. I just can't seem to do it. All right, hey. Okay, you guys are awesome. Okay, well, how about this? I'm on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. You'd know that if you read your email this morning, the one I sent at 6:30 my time, Central Time in the U.S. Normally, my live office hour slot is on Thursday, but my wife is making us, with the puppies and me, go to Lake Geneva for the afternoon before she goes back to school. So I got to do it because we got to keep harmony in the LaCivita house. Plus, I love my wife and I love spending time with her, and I never do stuff like this. So I moved it a day earlier because, like I like to say, better early than never. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Kat, I will go in the system here today and let you know my thoughts, or I can answer you live tomorrow, either which way. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Circulate it, share it, hit the little like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And I've got live office hours tomorrow. Got a new video next Tuesday. Got live office hours next Thursday. All that is in the calendar. I will see you tomorrow.